fight. Trying to see where the life take me, so I roll the dice. Look up to no one else, but yeah, I was shy. I got real power, Hebrew Israelite.
Your enemies.
Let me ask you a question. Who are these people sold to? Who are these guys? Who's that? Huh? The slave owner? What's his ethnicity? He's white, right? But God said he'd be sold to your friends, your enemies. Meaning the descendants of these people are always going to be your enemy. You understand that, right? Because if I take your car, right, and then 20 years later I die, and then my son has that same car that I stole from you, shouldn't he give it back? These people have your land to this very day. Do you think these people gave you back your land? They haven't done it, right? They want you to get over slavery. They say get over it, it's been a long time ago, right? They want you to remember 9/11, right? But God said these people will always be your enemy. So what do we do now that we understand this information? That we understand we're Israelites according to the Bible. We come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We're God's chosen people. What do we have to do? You said what? Spread the word, but didn't God put us into slavery for not keeping his commandments? So what should we do? You said what? We gotta keep his commandments, sis. All praises. Now, what are his commandments? Huh? Okay, everything is in the Bible. All right, we're gonna narrow it down for y'all. Yeah, it's a smart answer. All right, but we're gonna give y'all 3 commandments that we gotta keep from this day moving forward, that y'all can keep, and you can teach the other sisters. Go to the book of Deuteronomy 14 and verse 18. Go to the book of Exodus chapter 22 and verse 16. Also hold 1 Corinthians 3:16. We're gonna give y'all some commandments. This is very important. This is life or death. You understand that, right? Read this.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 14 verse 8. And the swine. And the what? And the swine.
Swine is pig. So as God's people, we have a dietary law. We have a certain way we have to eat.
Right.
You can't just eat anything that comes off the earth. Like these other nations, they eat anything. Don't ever go to China. They eat scorpions.
Right.
They eat bats.
Right.
They eat rats.
Right.
Dogs. Right. You go to China with your dog, you gonna end up missing, man.
Right.
You're gonna be posting damn dog pictures everywhere, man. And he's in somebody's stomach.
Right.
Can we eat that? That's in our spirit not to. So God is gonna give you strict directions on what you can and can't eat. Right? So swine is pig. Read on.
And the swine, because it devoured the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you.
What is the pork chops?
It is unclean unto you.
What about the ham on Thanksgiving?
It is unclean unto you.
Pork is unclean.
Right.
Now, do y'all parents or aunts or uncles, do they usually cook ham on Thanksgiving? You gotta stay away from that, because in your mind you know that God said I can't do that.
Right.
I read in the, but they may not know, but you know better. So God said no pork. Y'all understand that? No pork bacon. Right? You got chicken, you got ox, you got turkey, you got lamb, you got a lot of other meats. Just leave the pork alone, right? Because y'all love God, right?
Right.
Are y'all willing to do that? You are. All praise to the Most High. Don't ever eat it. Leave it alone. It'll kill you. Now it gets deeper than that. Read on.
Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. These ye shall eat of all that are in the water.
Y'all like fish? Sometimes may eat it, may not. Okay. Well, if you were to eat fish, there are specific directions you have to do on eating fish. You can't just eat anything that come out the waters. Read on.
All that have fins and scales shall ye eat.
Any fish that has fins and scales, you are allowed to eat. Like salmon, or perch, bass, red snapper, cod. These are fish with, or just Google fish with fins and scales. You're gonna see a lot of them. Right, we'll read on.
And whatsoever have not fins and scales, ye may not eat. Ye may not eat. Ye may not eat. Ye may not eat. Ye may not eat.
Can't eat any of those things that don't have fins and scales. Right? Do you all know some people that may eat crab, lobster? They sucking their fingers like this. Woo, girl, this good. Right? And they cracking over the lobster and they flicking your face. You want some? And they smack on your face, man. The Lord said you can't be eating that. Leave it alone. Matter of fact, get up from the table, walk outside and read your Bible. Because those people hate God. God said if you love him, you're gonna keep his commandments. You understand that? So that's what you can and can't eat. Now we're gonna give y'all 2 more commandments. Read what you got, King.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 22 and verse 16.
Bring it out.
15, 16 years old. Y'all got a boyfriend? You got a boyfriend? You said no? All All right. Well, God deals with husbands, right? Not friends with benefits. Right, the Lord isn't dealing with, one night stands.
Right.
The Lord's not dealing with, I'm trying to see where this goes and he has come over my house a few times. No, the Lord not doing that. So there's specific directions how you're supposed to deal with a significant other. You understand? We're going to show you. Read this.
And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed,
So if a man entice a woman that's not engaged, read on.
and lie with her,
And what?
And lie with her,
Take her out for some drinks.
and lie with
You know
her,
what?
he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
If a man wants to lay with you, right, then he has to make you his wife.
Right.
That's the standard according to God for his princesses. You understand? So if a man, you coming over, he starts touching your leg, he starts looking at you weird, and he start giving you that look. Y'all know what look I'm talking about. You might look at him and say, hey, what's your ethnicity? And if he says black, get up out of there, man.
Right.
If he says African American, run.
Right.
But if he says I'm an Israelite, you gotta start proving him. You say, oh, what are your plans for marriage?
Right.
What's your plans to make running a household?
Right.
Ask him those questions, man. You have your own car. You still live with your grandmother. Like, what's going on? Because you're not gonna lay with you're not gonna lay with me if you can't take care of me. You understand that?
Right.
We're not dealing with hoes and harlots no more, man.
Right.
Go to Deuteronomy 23:17. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 17.
No.
There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel.
I can do what? What's that? Hot summer? What's it called?
Hot girl summer.
Read that again.
There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel.
I'm outside today.
There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. So the Lord doesn't deal with our men being homosexuals, nor our women being whores. You understand that? There's order in our society. Our women are supposed to be covered up. They're not supposed to be with man to man. Right? I got a man for every day of the week. He paid my nails and he paid my rent. Right? You just switching up men. We're not doing that. That's not a cool thing according to God. Right? You understand that? So no whores of the daughters of Zion. And if y'all were to lay with, you have a boyfriend, wait until he's established to take care of himself first. And then he's able to take care of you. You understand? Read that again. That's why we have fathers with children with no fathers in the household, man.
Right.
That's that curse. Read this.
And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her,
Right.
he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
So
Just for layman's terms, God said keep your legs closed until you find a husband.
Right.
And he knows he's an Israelite. You understand? All praise to the Most High. Go to 1 Corinthians 3:16. It's the last one for you.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
the Lord say,
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
So your body is the temple of God. We used to have a physical temple until white people destroyed it in 70 AD.
Right.
Now that Christ died, we are the physical temple of God. This belongs to God. This don't belong to you. I don't know if anybody ever told you, my body, my choice doesn't exist.
Right.
That's not your body, your choice.
Right.
You didn't make yourself.
Right.
You didn't fashion yourself in the womb for 9 months.
Right.
You didn't give yourself feet.
Right.
Right. You didn't put the baby in you.
Right.
You didn't do all these other things. So my body, that doesn't exist. That's something that just prideful people came up with just so they can have sex every day.
Right.
Right?
Off.
That's off. It's dirty. It's disgusting.
Right.
God said this body belonged to him.
Right.
You can't make yourself wake up. You can't bring yourself back from the grave.
Right.
So this is not your body.
Right.
Read on.
Ye are the temple of God.
right?
Salakia. And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you.
Read on.
If any man defile the temple of God,
If you decide to pollute God's body through whoredom, like let's say, you heard these commandments, but you walked up the street, you said, I don't even believe in this anyway. And you call your boyfriend, you said, come over tonight. And you know what time it is. And you start eating pork damn on Thanksgiving. And you just forsake everything that we just told you. What is God gonna do?
him shall God destroy.
God's gonna talk to you one-on-one.
Him shall God destroy.
God's gonna bring you into his office.
Him shall God destroy.
God is gonna kill you.
Right.
If you pollute God's temple, his body, the Lord will jam you up, man.
Right.
I mean, think about all these women that want Planned Parenthood. They get to about 32 years old, they want a baby, and they can't have a baby no more. Because God jammed their body up, man. Right? Because, you got a point?
Yeah, he'll give a woman like cysts in her womb. I'm sad to say, my mother has it, so she can't even have kids no more. So the Lord can jam you up.
Lord can jam you up through whoredoms. Through you trying to do what you want to do in America, the Lord will destroy your body down, man. Because you decided to pollute his temple. Read on.
If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
Right.
For the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are.
The body of blacks, Hispanic, and Native American men and women are holy vessels.
Right.
You understand that? So you can't treat it the way you want to treat it. That's like if I rent a house to you and you just start marking up the damn walls. You start drilling holes in the walls. You start damn breaking up the floor. I'm gonna tell you, get out my house, right? That's the same way with God's temple. You understand that? So going back to what we were saying earlier, are y'all still American blacks, or according to God, are we the actual Israelites? We the actual Israelites, right? You see how it makes sense? And you see the rules and the codes that our God gave us to do as a people? Go to Leviticus 19 and 17. This is supposed to be part of our so-called religion. These are the morals we're supposed to be living by.
Right.
What if everybody in our community lived by the morals that we just taught you? Wouldn't it be a lot better? It would be a lot better. What about this? What about this commandment? Read this.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
No, I hate that.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
I gotta get that.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Right?
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him.
What if what if our whole nation of people kept God's commandments, and one of our people decides to go off, we correct that person, says, no, you can't do that. Right? You my brother, I love you, so I gotta correct you. What if we live by that? Wouldn't our communities be a lot better if we didn't hate our brother in our heart? But do you know they tell us we're teaching hate when we say that?
Right.
We teach hate when we tell our people to love each other.
Right.
Why do they do that? Why do in churches they tell you to love everybody, but we can't even love the own people in our community?
Right.
Doesn't make any sense, right? You have churches all throughout the hood, and liquor stores, and McDonald's, and KFCs, and Checkers, right? But we can't even love the people in our own neighborhood because we don't read the Bible to each other, man.
Right.
We're so focused on loving the other nations when they don't love you, instead of just loving the people that that we're around. You understand that? So y'all are Israelites according to the Bible. We have to repent and keep God's commandments. We are the true Jews according to the Bible.
Right.
And don't let nobody tell you different, man.
Nobody.
Yeah, I don't care if they have a PhD. I don't care if they have a master degree. They went to X and so college. This Bible is your book, man.
Right.
And we just proved it with more than 7 verses. There's thousands of verses. We can keep going. Go to Lamentations chapter 5 and verse 3. We can keep going, man, because this is your book. This is your history, man. And we're not going to let anybody take this from us again. You understand that? Read this.
It's the book of Lamentations, chapter 5, verse 3.
We are
orphans. We are what? We are orphans and fatherless.
In what?
And fatherless.
This is 2,400 years ago. This is the book of Jeremiah, Lamentations, man, where Jeremiah seen the destruction of his people during the Babylonian siege. He said, our mothers are widows and our orphans are fatherless, man. Read on.
Our mothers are as widows.
Right.
We have drunken our water for money.
What do we do in America?
We have drunken our water for money.
Pay a water bill. You pay a water bill. You drink your water for money. Read on.
Our wood is sold unto us.
You know the Native Americans and Mexicans used to have this land and they used to own all the wood. Now the wood and the lumber is sold unto them. How did that happen? How did that happen? You used to own all this land and now your wood is sold to you.
Right.
You're charging twice as much wood to the Mexican man that actually chopped down the tree. He chops down the tree, gives you the wood, and then you sell it back to him. That's evil. That's called slavery. Read this.
Read on.
Our necks are under persecution.
What happened to George Floyd?
Our necks are under persecution.
Every day in America.
Our necks are under persecution.
Right?
We labor and have no rest. We labor and have no rest.
Some of our parents work 2 jobs, 3 jobs. Right? We labor and we have no rest in the society. This is in the Bible. Not everybody can relate to that, right? Not everybody can relate to what we just read. So what we're trying to get y'all to understand is that we are the Israelites according to the Bible, and we have to come back to our laws that God gave us as a heritage 5,000 years ago to break these generational curses.
Right.
It's not economics. It's not funding our own societies and school systems and running our own banking systems. You are in the land of your enemies. For us to get out of the land of our enemies, we have to keep God's commandments and live.
Malfunction.
Because that has never happened. But the word gonna keep going. Go to Jeremiah 31 and verse 16. Now, what happens if you decide not to keep God's commandments? Huh? He kill you. That's plain and simple. God kills you. Go to Sirach chapter 39 and verse 28. Go to Sirach chapter 39 and verse 28. God kills you. And that's our men and women on Friday night. That's why we need to teach the word of God. Right. Read what you got, kids.
Book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 28.
Bring it out.
There be spirits that are created for vengeance.
What the Lord say?
There be spirits that are created for vengeance.
Now it's time to introduce you who God really is. Do you know God created angels just to get revenge, just to kill people? That's in the Bible. Why do you think car accidents happen?
Right.
If God loved everybody, why do people die?
Right.
Why do babies get shot in the head?
Right.
Why do women get raped?
Right.
And drugged in a damn car somewhere in an alley, man?
Right.
Locked in it. Why do men get set up by women?
Right.
People get chopped up and hidden in basements.
Right.
These are spirits created for vengeance for people that want to disobey our Heavenly Father.
Right.
Read on.
There be spirits that are created for vengeance.
She didn't like that. She had to go because Christianity taught her different. Right? Jesus saves everybody. But that's not the God in the Bible.
Right.
The truth hurts people. It's like taking off a Band-Aid.
Right.
Right, read on.
Which in their fury
Right.
lay on sore strokes.
Read on.
In the time of destruction.
In a time of what?
In the time of destruction.
Read on.
They pour out their force.
Right.
And appease the wrath of him that made them.
So when God gets very angry, he sends down vengeful spirits to destroy people to appease his wrath. So he's not angry anymore. You understand that? Why do you think war happens? And millions of people die. And Palestinian babies, their brain gets damn blown open to damn smithereens, man.
Right.
Right? These things happen. This is the real world, man. You're not Christianity, religion is false, man. Think about it. We have the one true living God in the Bible. Go to Isaiah 40:8. Do you know that there's no other God that exists? You ever heard of Zeus? Allah? You ever heard of Allah? Now, Allah is a God, right? I'm trying to understand this concept. Isn't God supposed to protect his people?
Right.
So why are Arabs dying over there in Israel right now? Where's Allah? What is he doing? Did he go to China for a few days? Is Allah on vacation?
Right.
They're calling upon a rock that can't save them. But sister, as a Hebrew, you actually have a God that will save you. And when you read the Bible, he shows us many times. Just think about during the time of Egypt. What did he do for Egypt? He split the Red Sea for us.
Right.
You can read about that. Read this.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 44, verse 8.
True living God. Read on.
Fear ye not.
The Lord say,
Fear ye not.
Don't fear these other gods. Don't fear science. Don't fear religion. Don't fear white people. Definitely don't fear Chinese people. Read on.
Neither be afraid.
Right.
Have not I told thee
So God is telling you right now. Read on.
from that time
Right.
and have declared it. Ye are even my witnesses.
Read on.
Is there a God beside me?
What is other gods up in heaven?
Is there a God beside me?
Mother Nature.
Is there a God beside me?
Read on.
Yeah, there is no God.
So when you worship the God in the Bible, there is no other God beside him. So you have to understand how much power y'all really have when y'all pray. You understand that? Do y'all know how to pray? Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and start at verse 2. There's a specific way that our princesses are supposed to pray to God. Go to John chapter 9 and verse number 31. And there are certain things that you can do for your prayers not to be heard either. So y'all want to make sure y'all doing the right thing for your prayers to be heard.
Right.
It's important. Read this.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 2.
Bring it out.
Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
God is going to set up the order in the household. The head of Christ is God, and the head of our head is Christ. Read on.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Y'all agree with that? That the head of the woman is the man? That if a man fears God, he's supposed to lead you correctly? Do y'all understand that? That's what's supposed to happen. Read on.
And the head of Christ is God.
The head of Christ is God. That's the structure, that's the order. Read on.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
Christ is our head, and we're praying to God, and we have our head covered. Let's say we have a hat on or a hoodie on. We actually dishonor Christ.
Right.
Right? So men are supposed to have their head uncovered. Read on.
But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head.
So if you don't have a husband, then your head will be Christ. So when you pray, you're supposed to have your hood on just like that, or a head covering or a head wrap. You understand that? So that, you know, you don't dishonor your head, which would be Christ. That's how you pray for a woman. Now go to Daniel chapter 6 and verse 10. Now, if we're Israelites, that means we come from Israel or Jerusalem. Where's Israel right now, geographically from us right now? That's to the east. That's where our temple was. That's where God called us for our land. So when we pray, we're supposed to pray towards the east. I'm gonna show you. God placed His name there. Read this.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 6, verse 10. Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem.
Towards where?
Toward Jerusalem.
Pray, you want to pray towards Jerusalem or pray towards the east. Get your compass out, try to find the east, have your head covered, and then pray to the Most High God. Read on. That's it on that. Go to Psalm chapter 83 and 18. Do y'all know God's name? Y'all know God has a name? It's not just God, right? That's just the title. Like if you go to school, you're just a student, but don't students have names? Right? It's the same thing. So God actually has a name. His son has a name. Go to Proverbs chapter 30 and verse number 4, Baba Bashar. Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 4. We have to understand these things. I mean, we're gonna pray. You want to call upon the correct God. You don't want to accidentally call upon Zeus. You slipped up, you said Zeus. Now your prayer not getting heard. Read. That's disgusting. Yeah, read what you got.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 1.
Get out.
Oh, it's like 81, verse 18. No, come on, 83, 18. No, it's like this is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 18. That man may know that thou whose name alone is Yahweh.
Who?
Yahweh.
How? You may have heard people say Jehovah before, right? Jehovah is an English transliteration of Yahweh, right? There's no V sound in the Hebrew. That didn't exist, right? So it's Yahweh in Hebrew, meaning He exists or He is, because God doesn't have a beginning or an end. He lives outside of time. Time was created for you. God, yeah, it was created for you. It's created for you to look at your watch and look at the 24 hours that God does. He dwells outside of time. You understand that? So His name is Yahweh. Say it for me. Yahweh. What's His name? Yahweh. Now, all praise to the Most High. Now, Jesus Christ, you know His name's not really Jesus Christ. He's a Hebrew. In the Hebrew language, was the J invented? The J wasn't invented until the 1600s.
Right.
Christ lived in the 1st century, 2nd century. So if the J wasn't invented, what was His name? Read Matthew chapter 1 and verse 21.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21.
Get out.
And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh what?
Yahweh Shai.
Right?
For he shall save his people from their sins.
Christ, Yahweh Shai, His name, He's going to save His people from their sins, from their iniquities. His people, not all people, His people. He's saving us, our people. You understand that? So if God's name is Yahweh, His son's name is Yahweh Shai, meaning He shall save in the Hebrew. Because in Hebrew, our names mean something. He wasn't just named Rael, John, Jonathan, right? Darrell, yeah, DeMarcus, right? DeMarcus. His name wasn't DeMarcus, man. Right. His name actually meant something. Yeah, Jarrell, right? His name actually meant something. So in Hebrew, our names mean something. So Yahweh Shai means He shall save, because He's going to come save our people, because we're the people that need to be saved. Y'all understand that? So when y'all pray, what do y'all have to do? Pray towards the east and cover your head, right? And what's God's name? Yahweh. Okay, what's His son's name? You haven't answered none. Yeah, what's His son's name? Yahweh Shai. That's right, sister. Yahweh Shai. And what do we have to do as Israelites? Can we just do what we want to do? What do we have to do? Huh? Live by God and keep His what? His commandments.
Right.
Live by God, keep His commandments. You understand that?
Right.
That's what we got to do. Now I know it's cold out here, right? What time is it, man? 7:30. I don't know where y'all have to be, but Lord willing, y'all stay safe. Do y'all have any questions? Comments, concerns? All right, cool. The brother got a flyer. Elder Ray, you can give us some flyers. You can leave like a stack up here, Baba Show. Right? Get these two sisters a flyer. They understand who they are in these last days, man. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Having a good night.
You having a good night?
Enjoying my time.
Now, what's your ethnic background? What would you call yourself? Would you say you're Chinese? Would you say you're Latino?
Latino.
Latino?
Mexican.
Mexican?
Yeah.
You're Mexican? We're teaching that Mexicans and black people are actually one people.
Right.
We're actually the greatest people on the face of the earth.
Right.
Because we do a lot of things that other people can't do. And it's actually recorded in the Bible. Now, what do you know what do you know about Mexican culture or Mexican history?
Always working hard, fighting.
Always working hard, fighting. What's the history of Mexico? How did that happen?
Honestly, I'm not even sure.
I got you. Well, Mexico, they used to have parts of this land, and it was stolen from them.
Right.
Stripped.
Right.
And then you guys were subjugated, past the Texas border. But before that, what were you guys doing on this side of the world? What language were you speaking? What was your customs as Aztecs? Spanish? Well, Spanish was given to you by Christopher Columbus in Spanish.
Oh, you're right.
You're right. So before the Spaniards came and raped and robbed and murdered your men and women and children, what were we speaking? You know? Okay. Well, that's why we have to go into the Bible. We have to show you. Because remember, God created, y'all believe in God, right? He created nations of people in the Bible. You have to find, turn that sign around. You have to find what nation in the Bible that you come from. Hey, y'all can switch these two signs. These two signs. So what nation would you say you come from? We have to know. Because remember, the word Mexican not in the Bible.
Right.
When you want to find what God said about Mexicans, how can you go to the Bible if they don't talk about Mexicans? So you have to identify yourself with a nation of people that God has chosen. And you will be an Aztec Mayan, or you will come from the tribe of Issachar.
Right.
Yashashakar, Issachar in the Bible. Now, what was the Mayans known for? You ever heard of the Mayan calendar?
Yeah, I heard.
How did they come up with the Mayan calendar? What did they use? Did they have an Apple Watch? They used the sun, moon, and the stars, right? Brothers get that brothers already know what time it is. Man. What the First Chronicles chapter 12? Did you know they were doing that all the way time 3,000 years ago? In the Bible? Read this.
It's the book of First Chronicles, chapter 12, and verse 32.
Bring it out.
And of the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the time.
Yeah, what?
That had understanding of the time.
Bring on.
To know what Israel ought to do. The heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at their commandment.
So when we went to war as a people, we had to use the children of Issachar to discern the time of the day and discern what time we have to go to war. Because you guys can read the sun, moon, and the stars. Right. So when we go to war against our enemies, we have to, because you guys had a gift. And we even seen that during the times of the Mayan Empire, 250 AD or so. You guys designed the Mayan calendar. Read this in 1 Chronicles 7:1.
It's the book of First Chronicles, chapter 7, verse 1.
Bring it out.
Now the sons of Issachar,
To read about the sons of Issachar. Read on.
were Tola and Pua
Right.
and Jashub
Right.
and Shimron,
Right.
4, and the sons of Tola, Uzai
Right.
and Raphiah
Right.
and Jeriel
Right.
and Jamiah.
You guys have a lot of children. That's what we're reading in the Bible. A lot of children, very fruitful. Read on. You know that. Read on.
And Jimsam
Right.
and Shemuel, heads of their father's house.
No, they were just niggas.
Heads of their father's house. Heads of their father's house.
Read on.
To wit of Tola.
Right? They were heads of their father's house. So that's the standard and the ranking that our people used to have. Now what are Mexicans just known for? Just working hard. That's it. But you guys are much more than that.
Right.
Go to Deuteronomy 7:6. It's more than working hard. I mean, hey, I work in a warehouse, man. And guess what? You have the children of Issachar working very hard in there, man.
Right.
Right? Harder than most nations, man.
Right.
Now, in the Bible, God said we're above all people and not everybody can do what we do. Read this, man.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6.
Yo.
For thou art a holy people.
The Lord say,
For thou art a holy people.
I mean, hundreds of years after slavery. I mean, you guys went into slavery before black people, man. 1500s. Or even around the same time. Like the brother brought out during the Crusades, man. You guys went into slavery hundreds and hundreds of years, man. And y'all still here to this very day making it work.
Right.
You know what?
For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people.
To be a what?
To be a special people.
Right.
Unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So God chose these people on this sign to be above all people on the face of the earth. These people are actually one people according to God. Through slavery, they dissected and divided each nation to their damn land, man. But before this happened, we actually used to live in our own homeland called Israel. Did you know that? And that's history, man. It wasn't always a Dominican Republic. There wasn't always a Jamaica, a Taino Indian. There wasn't always a person that just lived in the west coast of Africa. We actually used to all live in our land speaking a language called Hebrew. Not Spanish, not English, but Hebrew.
Right.
Go to Deuteronomy 28 and verse 49. But do you know, you ever heard about the story of Moses? He split the Red Sea? You haven't? No, you heard of it? You heard of that? And God killed the firstborn of every Egyptian. What happened after that? What happened after that where God said, you know what? You will go into slavery for what you have done. We're going to read about it. Read this.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 49.
God placed generational curses on the children of the people that he saved out of Egypt for a specific reason. Read verse 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
What the Lord say?
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
God said these people on this sign in the last days in 2024 will have to serve their enemies. Read on.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
So the Lord's going to send you against them in what?
In hunger.
And what?
In hunger.
So God said when you get hungry, you have to go to your enemy. I'm pretty sure that you bought that from from a cart, right? Around here. Where do they get the corn from? Do Mexicans own damn corn facilities and fertilizers and land? What about those cups, those paper cups? Do we own any paper cup facilities? Plastic forks?
Right.
No. So God said you have to go to your enemies for all your things, even your food. You know?
And in thirst.
And in what?
And in thirst.
What is Ice Mountain?
And in thirst.
Gatorade?
And in thirst.
Right?
And in thirst.
All your drinking options you have to go to your enemy for.
Right.
It gets deeper than that. Read on.
And in nakedness.
And in what?
And in nakedness.
We in downtown Chicago. You can go to any store and buy some stuff right now. Easy. Now, if I go to Louis Vuitton, if I go to Gucci, Hollister, Zara, do any of our people own that? Anybody? Are we making any of our nation rich by when we shop with them? Or are we just trying to look good? The God said you got to go to your enemies in nakedness and hunger. Right? And in thirst. It gets deeper than that. Read on.
And in want of all things.
God said in the society that you live in, you have to go to your enemies for everything.
Right.
Right? You got to go through for a passport.
Right.
You got to go for a driver's license.
Right.
How many people you know trying to get a damn green card, man? Visa. Just trying to, huh? Yeah, you say you're OG, man. My pops, man.
Right.
From damn Jamaica, man. We trying to get these things. God said you got to go to your enemies for everything. Read on.
And he shall put a yoke of iron.
What the Lord say?
And he shall put a yoke of iron.
What Christopher Columbus gonna do?
And he shall put a yoke of iron.
Upon thy what?
Upon thy neck.
Upon your hands.
Upon thy neck.
What is on his neck? What is on this young man's neck? It's a chain, right? Is it for him to look good in? What about his wife? Same thing. Mexicans went through the same thing as well. Same. Turn this sign. Yeah, turn this sign around. Because right now, this is Southern Kingdom. Look what happened to your people. Look at the flag they came to bear. Right? Look at all these atrocities. Right? Look at all these things chopped off your hands. And then encomiendas in Mexico in the strawberry fields, man.
Right.
Your 5-year-old daughter didn't pick the damn strawberries fast enough. They chopped off her hand, man.
Right.
And it sent her back to you for all that crying.
Right.
Look at all of this. Read on. Verse 49.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
From where?
From far.
Isn't Spain far from Mexico?
Right.
The Lord's gonna bring a nation against thee from far. Read on.
From the end of the earth.
From the what?
From the end of the earth.
Didn't Christopher Columbus, when he came over here, he said this is the new world? They discovered a new world. So that's from one end of the earth to this end of the earth. Read on.
As swift as the eagle flies.
What was the flag that they were bearing?
As swift as the eagle
You
flies.
can't tell me the Lord wasn't telling you who was about to come over here, man. He's gonna tell you the so-called white man's gonna come over here as swift as the eagle flies, man. And guess what? He came over here as swift as the eagle flies. Read on.
A nation.
What?
A nation.
Who's what?
Whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Because y'all didn't speak Spanish. When Christopher Columbus came to the side of the world, he had 4 Hebrew interpreters on the ship with him. Why? Because when y'all spoke Hebrew, he had to understand what he was saying to y'all.
Right.
Right? What was his name? Louis de Torres? Yeah, Louis de Torres was a Hebrew damn translator that came with Christopher Columbus to the North Americas so he could communicate with your people because your people didn't understand Spanish. Only through chains, only through sword, only through smallpox blankets, only through the Trail of Tears were y'all forced to speak Spanish and English, man.
Right.
And accept Catholicism or get down with the sword, man.
Right.
That was it. Read on.
A nation of fierce countenance,
Right.
which shall not regard the person of the old,
No, they cared about 90-year-old women and men.
which shall not regard the person of the old,
Right.
nor shew favor to the young.
They didn't care about your men, women, and children when they was teaching y'all Catholicism and killing your great-great-grandmother and great-great-grandfather, man. That's why, your grandparents, they hold on to that Mary. They hold on to that white Jesus so hard, man.
Right.
Because your forefathers was forced into this, man.
Right.
Just like my forefathers was forced into that with Baptist Church,
Right.
Presbyterian,
Right.
Jehovah's Witness,
Right.
Seventh-day Adventist.
Right.
All of these religions that's not found in the Bible, they made you think it was found in the Bible, man. But when we read the Bible, we understand it's about a history. It's about a culture. It's about a people, man. Whose people? Our people, man.
Right.
Your history didn't start in 1542. It didn't start in 1619.
At all.
It started way before that, during the Roman Empire, the Grecian Empire, the Assyrian Empire, right? The Achaemenid Empire,
Right.
the Egyptian Empire.
Right.
We were actually one group of people. So what we're telling you is the reason why we went into these slavery, we lost our language, is because we broke the commandments of our Heavenly Father. We broke God's commandments. Do y'all know God's commandments? What are some of God's commandments, if you don't mind me asking? What did God command his people to do?
God's name is Ain.
Okay.
Cherish your dad. Yes.
Right.
Always bring them home.
What else? Y'all know?
Respect your neighbor.
Okay. Love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Right.
Well, what's gonna happen is the next mighty brother is gonna come up here and further your understanding of God's commandments. Understanding when we broke God's laws, God put their children into slavery again. So for us to come out of this slavery or these generational curses that our people are in, we have to now keep God's laws. With that, he said, Kum Yashrala.
Kum Yashrala.
Kum Yashrala.
Kum Yashrala.
Kum Yashrala.